January 2, you were appointed and sabi mo nag-apply ka. Where is your letter of application? Do you have a copy to be appointed Undersecretary, OIC, PSDBM, at the same time, Executive Director?
It should be distinguished between the two. My statement is I applied as Undersecretary, which I was appointed to as Undersecretary in DBM. With respect to Executive Director, I never applied for it. It was already stated, I think, last year and this year, Senate investigation, that there was a vacuum when the Executive Director was removed from office by reason of lack of qualification.
Alam na natin yon, Attorney Lau. Alam na natin yon. Huwag na natin ulitin. Ano? Okay.
She was removed from office, there was a vacuum. I was instructed to be OIC only. So the Secretary of DBM was the one who executed the OIC. Yun po.
Okay. So alam na natin yan. Never mind.
Yes, sir.
February 4, you wrote the Civil Service Commission requesting that reclassify yung mga employees, yung mga staff sa PSDBM as confidential employees. Why did you do that?
When I took into office on January 2020, I noticed that a lot of positions have been vacant by reason of high turnover rate. Ang high turnover rate, mabilis po yung alisan dyan kasi nga walang security of tenure. Second po, when I took that position, na-notice ko rin po na very few are interested in applying. So, ang third din po, when I checked it, there was a structured proposal by a consultant of the previous executive director, Ms. May Cuevas, that they have this proposed structure. Kasi nga medyo problematic yung structure ng PSDBM. In fact, previous to me, PSDBM was being moved to be either demolished or when tanggalin na sila sa operations, or they will be incorporated as a GOCC. So based on that, as part of my professional work, I consulted the Civil Service Commission as to the feasibility whether or not these positions, which are crucial, can be or may not be considered as confidential positions. It's a consultation. However, there was no response for an entire year. Lacking the response, we continued operating the PSDBM in a usual manner based on the existing structure. Po.
Mr. Attorney Lau, dahil walang security of tenure, konti nag-apply, ang solusyon mo, gawing confidential employees. Hindi mo ba alam ng confidential employees, wala rin security of tenure?
No, sir. That's part of it. Kasi nga, the purpose we wrote that letter, kasi nga mayroong mga concerns again, it's a point of inquiry. Hindi, we inquired if it can be. Kasi nga part of the dilemma of the PSDBM status yun. Kasi if you look at until now, that's a problem eh. Mabilis
ito letter mo nakapla sa board, Attorney Lau.
Yes, sir.
In spite of the agency status, it is also vital for the agency head to appoint officials and personnel with utmost trust and confidence that are capable of handling highly confidential delegations on top of the regular functions. Anong highly confidential? Procurement yung pag-uusapan natin. It should be transparent.
Yes, whether or not they're confidential or not, Mr. Chairman, it will be transparent because everything is public record and everything is on record. Even all the senator's office have confidential employees, but these are all transparent. Kahit saan po tayo ganun. So these director positions and EA positions, as for a formal ED, it's a nature of employment that they can be hired or fired at any time by reason of confidence. Whether slow ang performance, you can be fired. Kasi, di ba, it's an ongoing, recurring issue kasi before. Is the sales, the slow-moving items na hindi mabenta, yung operations namin, di ba? It's part of the system. And regardless kasi, it's being painted na there is an ill motive. Let me point it to the public. I was designated as OIC. Regardless whether this letter will be approved or denied, it will not make a difference on my part because I am not the appointing authority. the executive director has the authority to appoint, hire, or fire employees in PSDBM. However, I am an OIC based on the designation by the Secretary of Budget and Management. My only authority is to manage the office. I have no authority to hire or to fire. Now, that letter will not benefit me in any manner if it is approved or denied, because I cannot hire or fire. But I wrote that letter as part of my function as OIC. In any event that there is a new executive director, they will benefit from it. It's a legal question. Diba? The only function, diba? The question is, pinagawa mo yan kasi gusto mo. No, I don't have the authority because I'm just an OIC. It is clear in the designation on my person that my only responsibility is to run the day-to-day operations of the office. The authority to appoint was not part of the ones dedicated to me. So whether or not that civil service letter would be acted upon positively or negatively, it will not affect my OIC designation. Second, it's a pure letter. Diba? Oh, what difference does it make? It doesn't make any difference kasi a year after pa ang response ng civil service. On the third point, to say, kasi may predetermination yan, may plan-plunder, I'll just answer it straight. February 4, there is no COVID.
Chairman, Mr.
I
Chairman.
make a plan, magkaka-COVID tayo.